I just got a call from the nursing home, and they were reminding me to transfer them the money. What happened to the $2,000 that I give you every month?
My husband, Grant, questions me angrily. I was just getting confused and didn't know what was going on.
Hey, I'm asking you, what happened to the money?
I've been giving it to Lucy. When I managed to get these words out, my husband's eyes widened in disbelief.
Mom, where's the money for the nursing home for Dad?
My mother-in-law, Lucy, was extremely frightened as my husband shouted angrily. My name is Maya. I am 32 years old, and I am a housewife. It has been 3 years now since I got married to my husband, Grant. I met my husband at a singles party, and since we were in the same age, we hit it off right away. And since we both liked to drink, we immediately exchanged contact numbers and made plans to go out for drinks. We went out to different bars and pubs several times, and we got closer gradually. Then, Grant confessed his feelings for me, and we started to go out. And after 2 years of dating, we got married.
Once we get married, I want you to be at home, being a full-time housewife.
As Grant requested that, I quit my job and became a housewife. My husband works for a company that pays reasonably well, and we can make a good living together without me having to work. Besides, I wanted to experience being a full-time housewife at least once, so I agreed to his request. So, I made up my mind to be a good wife who supports her husband well.
This is really, really delicious. The chicken goes really well with the sauce, and the sauce tastes great. And the mashed potatoes with the chicken is the best. I'll definitely eat seconds.
Thank you. I cooked enough for us, so you can definitely have seconds. My husband always seems to enjoy the meals I make, and he compliments and thanks me for doing the house chores.
Thank you for ironing my shirts. I always get really motivated when I get to wear a nice ironed shirt.
I was really happy from the bottom of my heart that I had met a really nice man, thinking that it is rare to find a man who can say such kind words. On our days off, we spent quality time together traveling and driving around. Just being with my husband made me very happy. Time flew by so quickly, and 3 years have already passed since we got married. I have been so happy and stress-free in my marriage with my husband for these 3 years. I am sure it was the same for my husband as well. We don't have any kids yet, but I knew that our child would be a very nice, gentle, and adorable child. How would we raise our child if we had one? What lessons would we give them? What kind of dreams would they have? Just thinking about these things made me excited. One day, however, my husband came home from work with a very gloomy look on his face. "Oh, Grant, what's wrong, honey? Did something happen?" I was very worried because I had never seen my husband look like that before. To this, my husband said,
"May I talk with you for a minute?"
and sat down on the sofa with me. He took a deep breath and opened his mouth.
"My dad is going into a nursing home."
"What?" My father-in-law, Jack, and his health has been deteriorating for several years and had been in and out of the hospital repeatedly. Just recently, half of his body became paralyzed due to the after effects of his illness, and he needed nursing care. Since Grant's parents live in the rural area, we can't really move into their house and live with them. nor can we bring them here all the way into the city. So, Grant has decided to put Jack in a nursing home because my mother-in-law, Lucy, also has a chronic back condition and cannot fully take care of Jack on her own. That would be cheaper than hiring a helper all day long. And after my husband finished explaining everything, he apologized and asked me for a favor.
I'm sorry, but Mom asked me to help her pay for Dad's nursing home. And I couldn't really refuse her. So that's why.
I knew immediately what my husband was trying to ask me. All right, I will also start working, okay?
Honey, thank you so much for understanding.
I didn't want to see my husband sad anymore. Besides, I have enjoyed and had enough time being a full-time housewife for these past 3 years. It's time for me to go out into the world and start working again. I then looked for an admin job as I had done that work before. And as luck would have it, I found a company that was willing to hire me with good working conditions, which I was looking for. The salary was about the same as the one I had before my marriage, and the working hours were just right, from 9 to 5. The company was also close from my house, which was pretty good. So like that, I started working again. It was refreshing to work at a company for the first time in a long time, and I enjoyed being able to communicate with different people again. Now, I am working hard and trying to quickly regain my working skills.
Maya, thank you so much. You're definitely helping out a lot.
Jack's nursing home costs $2,000 a month. Lucy wanted to put him into a proper nursing home, so she made a contract with a place which cost around that much. And my husband transferred the money every month to Lucy. Lucy would contact my husband and say, "Thank you so much for all your help. Your father is safe and sound at the nursing home." And hearing this, he and I were both relieved. But after a few months or so, I suddenly received a phone call from Lucy. "Hello, Lucy. What's wrong?" I was a little surprised, as I rarely received phone calls from Lucy directly. "Oh, Maya, thank you for always sending the money." No. How's Jack doing since then?" "He seemed fine when we visited him last time." "Maybe it's because he's in the nursing home. He's doing really well." "Oh, I'm really glad to hear that then." "And, well, I called you today to ask for a favor, Maya." "A favor?" "You see, Grant always transfers the money to me on weekdays after work, right? But the transfer fee costs a lot, doesn't it? Besides, from the bank which Grant uses, the fee for transferring money to my account is much higher than the others." I felt bad about that because even a small amount of money being transferred from Grant's account would end up costing quite a lot of money just for the transfer fee if he kept on doing that, you know. "Oh, well, that's true. A transfer from my husband to Lucy's bank account costs about $3 to $4 every time a transfer is made. If he keeps doing that every month, it would amount to quite a bit of money in a year, and after a few years, it would add up a lot. So, I was thinking, you seem to finish your work in the afternoon, so from now on, could you transfer the money to me instead of Grant? If I remember correctly, Maya, you can do the transfers for free since we're using the same bank, right?" "Yes, you're right. I understand. I'll make sure I transfer the money every month then. And, well, from here, I kind of want you to keep this a secret from Grant, but if possible, could you also add $500 a month along with a nursing home fee from your earnings?" Oh? Why is that? Actually, my husband is in debt with about $10,000 and... What? Really? I'm paying it off bit by bit from my pension now, but if I keep on doing that, then I won't be able to make ends meet. I see. So that's why, Maya, please think of it as helping a poor old woman like me. All right, I understand. Doing it all alone by yourself would be too much for you, Lucy. Oh, thank you so much, Maya. You really are a very good wife. Lucy thanked me many times over the phone when I accepted her favor. I did feel that $500 of assistance per month was a bit difficult and would require a lot of work, but I thought it would be fine if Lucy was being so grateful like that. I explained to my husband that I was going to transfer the money to her instead of him, and explained about the transfer fees for now.
Oh, that's true. If the fees keep piling up, it'll be ridiculous. Thank you, Maya. I'll be counting on you then.
So, I transferred $2,500 to Lucy's bank account every month, in which $2,000 was for the nursing home fee, plus the additional $500 for helping out Lucy for the debt. My husband paid the $2,000 from his own salary, and I paid $500 from my own earnings. Then, about once a month, we visited Jack at the nursing home and Lucy's house to see how she was doing. Lucy seemed to be doing very well, probably because she didn't have to worry about money that much anymore. I will always be grateful to you both. Thank you so much for all your help with the nursing home expenses. Lucy nodded at us and made eye contact with me as she said that. I nodded back softly.
It's okay, Mom. You and Dad raised me and put me through college, so let me at least take care of you both like this.
Thank you so much. I'm really happy. We then returned home while I smiled at the exchange between Lucy and Grant. I thought that we would continue to support my parents-in-law like this as we went on with our lives. But then, something unexpected happened. It all happened one day, about 2 months after visiting Jack and Lucy. My husband received a phone call.
Yes, hello. Yes, that's me. Excuse me?
My husband's face became more and more grim as the call continued. Who on earth was calling? I got curious and looked at him all worried. He spent the next few minutes talking on the phone. When he hung up the phone, he glared at me. Oh, what's wrong, honey?
What is the meaning of this?
What is?
I just got a call from the nursing home and they were reminding me to transfer them the money.
What? They were reminding you about that? To my surprise, the phone call Grant just received was from the nursing home where Jack was staying at. They couldn't confirm the payment at all, and when they tried calling Lucy's number, they could not get through to her. So they called my husband, who had been Jack's emergency contact.
What happened to the $2,000 that I give you every month?
My husband, Grant, questions me angrily. I was just getting confused and didn't know what was going on.
Maya, you said that you would transfer the money every month, didn't you? So why hasn't the money been transferred to the nursing home? Hey, I'm asking you, what happened to the money?
Grant was getting really angry at me. I've been giving it to Lucy. When I managed to get these words out, my husband's eyes widened in disbelief.
If that's the case, then why would the nursing home call me about the unpaid fee?
I have no idea. Look here. I quickly showed him the history of my online banking transfer using the bank app on my smartphone. and it's confirmed by the bank that the money was properly transferred to Lucy's account.
So, it's true. Then it's because of Mom?
I didn't want to believe it, but I nodded in agreement with my husband. My husband's face turned pale and he looked very shocked.
Oh, I'm so sorry, Maya. I didn't mean to really doubt you.
No, it's fine. I didn't think Lucy would do such a thing either. And so, we went over to Lucy's place the next week without even telling her. Huh? Hey, what's going on with you both coming over like this all of a sudden? My husband was holding back all his emotions, but his anger and emotions got out all at once the moment he saw Lucy. He began to tremble with anger and angrily shouted at Lucy.
Mom, where's the money for the nursing home for Dad?
My mother-in-law Lucy was extremely frightened as my husband shouted angrily. What is up with you screaming like that all of a sudden, honey? And why are you even asking me this?
I just got a call from the nursing home saying they couldn't reach you. It looks like you're behind the nursing home fee.
No way. I was told that Maya was the one transferring the money directly to the nursing home, so I left it to her, didn't I?
Excuse me?
Lucy just blatantly told a lie, which both Grant and I knew that it was a complete lie. I'm sure of it. That's what Maya said on the phone.
Where's the proof to that then?
Well, it's not like I record phone calls, so I can't give you any proof, but I'm sure she said so. But I can't believe the nursing home fee hasn't been paid for because of that. You're such a terrible person to steal money, Maya. Lucy began to say so and blamed me for what she did. But I clearly had proof that I transferred the money to Lucy. So, my husband knew that Lucy was lying.
Wow, I really didn't expect you to be that terrible, Mother.
Why? Why won't you even believe me? Lucy, this is a little off topic, but were you planning to go out now? What? Well, yes, I was. I was going to have lunch with my friend. I see. So that's why you're wearing luxury brand clothes, huh? I beg your pardon? You said you were having trouble financially, so in addition to the nursing fee, I also transferred $500 from my own earnings to your bank account. But you were spending it like that? What are you even talking about?
Mom, there's no use in lying about it. Maybe you thought that if it was between online banks, you could fake that you didn't get the money from Maya since she didn't have a bank book. But if she used the app, she could easily confirm it, you know.
What?
So, I already know that Maya has been transferring you a total of $2,500 every month.
Oh no.
I can't forgive you for lying about my dad being in debt to Maya, and then deceiving her and living a luxurious life by using all the money we transferred to you. I'll have you pay back every penny you ever spent without our permission, Mother.
No way. I don't have any more money with me.
Don't play with me. My dad is about to be kicked out of the nursing home because of you and your selfishness. You should be really ashamed of yourself. How low could you even get?
My husband got so angry that Lucy was completely freaked out. We then immediately reported this incident to Jack. When Jack found out that Lucy had done such a thing, he was furious. He then divorced Lucy, deducted the unpaid nursing home fee from her share of the property, and then deducted the money we had been transferring her, in which, in the end, she used to spend for her own luxury. So, in the end, Lucy got much less money than she could have gotten from the divorce, She was also evicted from her house and is now working part-time and living alone in a shabby old apartment. I don't know what happened after that, since we also cut ties with Lucy, but I guess she will live a lonely, sad life for the rest of her life. We then asked Jack to come to where we live and move into a nursing home near our house. Now I can easily visit Jack after work or on weekends. I also just recently found out that I was pregnant. When Jack's grandchild is born, my husband and I will visit Jack with a baby to see him. And my husband and I will continue to take care of our family and live happily together. Lucy is indeed a lousy person, spending the money of the nursing home without permission. She probably didn't really love Jack either, huh? I feel a little sorry for Jack, who was married with such a person for so many years. But I am relieved that Maya and Grant found out about Lucy and her true nature in the end. I hope Maya lives happily with her husband, Jack, and the baby that she is about to have soon. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.
If you had any doubt, you didn't even have to go through all that, and you should have just asked me about it.
What do you even mean by that?
It means that I was planning to already break up with you.
What? Does that mean you want to get a divorce?
Yes, that's what I mean. So that's why I always carried around this with me too.
Saying that, my husband Frank brought out some papers from his bag. It was the divorce papers, and Frank had already signed his part. My name is Allison. I am 29 years old and I work at a company. It has been 2 years since I got married to my husband Frank, who was the same age as me. Until recently, I thought I was going to live happily ever after with my husband. But then, I just had to see it. I saw a woman's name, which I have never seen before, floating on the screen of my husband's phone. It happened just when my husband was taking a shower. My husband had been reading a magazine until then, and had placed his phone on top of a pile of books on the living room table. My husband has a habit of leaving books he has read untouched, and after a week or so, some of the books would naturally pile up. When I warn him about them, he puts them back on the bookshelf, but he has a tendency to be lazy like that. He left the books out again, huh? At that time, I couldn't be bothered to warn him again, so I tried to put them away for him. And since my husband's phone was in the way, when I moved the phone onto the table, the screen of the phone came on, and there I saw a notification that he got a text message. I saw a message under the name of a woman named Sarah, and I saw a message from Sarah which said, "I'm looking forward to seeing you tomorrow." Huh? Who is this? I looked at the screen and froze for a moment. But just then, I heard the door for the shower room open, and I quickly put my husband's phone back in its place. I couldn't even put the books away. My husband came out of the shower room with an unsuspecting look on his face and sat down on the couch. Then, as if he had noticed, he took the phone and looked at the screen. I was glancing at him from the kitchen so as not to be noticed, but my husband was looking at his phone with a little grin on his face. Wow, so he is cheating on me. So I officially requested an investigator to investigate so that I could get a solid evidence about my husband and his affair. And although I didn't want to believe it, it became crystal clear that my husband was having an intimate relationship with that woman named Sarah. He stayed at Sarah's house on his so-called business trips, and on days when he worked late and came home late, it looked like he went to a hotel with Sarah. I got even more depressed as the evidence of photos came out one after another. I am ashamed to admit that at that point, I still have feelings for my husband. So, I was willing to forgive my husband if he only cheated on me because he just lost to his temptation. I told my husband that I wanted to talk to him when he came home from work and sat him down in the living room. I showed him the photos I received from the investigator and asked him what this was all about. But shockingly, my husband answered calmly.
Wow, you used an investigator to check on me.
Huh?
If you had any doubt, you didn't even have to go through all that. And you should have just asked me about it.
What do you even mean by that?
It means that I was planning to already break up with you.
What? Does that mean you want to get a divorce?
Yes, that's what I mean. So, that's why I always carried around this with me too.
Saying that, my husband Frank brought out some papers from his bag. It was the divorce papers, and Frank had already signed his part. Why did you cheat on me? And you're saying that you want a divorce?
Why can't you even understand that?
Excuse me?
Because, you never got pregnant, Allison.
What?
I'm not the type of person who's laid back enough to stay with a woman like that, if I think about the future. So, I thought it would be better to switch to another woman instead of you.
No way. But we've only been married for 2 years. In general, there are a lot of couples who goes through a period of time where they won't have kids yet, right?
So, I told you already. I'm not that laid-back type. Allison, you weren't trying hard enough.
How could you say such a terrible thing? Besides, making a baby isn't something that only the wife has to work hard for. It's something that the couple has to work together for, right? You're responsible for it too,
What the hell are you even saying? How can that be? You have to admit that there's something wrong with your body, which is why you can't get pregnant. I mean, it's what my mother says too.
This has nothing to do with your mother, Frank. My mother-in-law, Jackie, used to annoy me every time she saw me, asking me if I got pregnant with her grandchild yet. When she said, "You must be one hell of a woman who can't get pregnant with a child even after 2 years." To me, I couldn't believe my ears. So, that's why I didn't really like Jackie. My husband defended me every time by saying,
Mom, don't be so hard on her.
But it seems that Jackie had recently began to brainwash Frank.
My mother also likes Sarah too. So, now, all I have to do is get a divorce with you, Allison.
Hey, wait a minute now. Does that mean that Jackie already knows about you cheating on me?
I mean, my mother has already met Sarah a few times. Sarah is 5 years younger than me, so my mother is happy that Sarah's young and that she has a good chance of being pregnant.
I didn't know where to begin anymore. I couldn't believe that a lot of things had already been discussed behind my back. Before I knew it, I had tears flowing down my cheeks. My husband looked at me with disgust.
Oh, come on. Don't tell me that you don't want to divorce, okay? I'm already ready to remarry Sarah. Well, I'm going back to my parents' house for a while, so please think positively about divorce.
With that, my husband started packing up his belongings. He didn't care at all that I was crying. I became emotionally unstable and spent a couple of days binge eating, vomiting, then binge eating again, and then vomiting again. Because of this, I got sick and had to go to the hospital. My head hurt and my stomach felt really heavy. When I went to the hospital to have some tests done, the doctor mentioned that I had not had my period and told me that I might be pregnant. The doctor also said that the nausea, which I thought was caused by binge eating and mental shock, could be due to pregnancy. I decided to go to the OBGYN clinic to have it officially checked out, just to be sure. After the test at the clinic, I was told that I was actually pregnant. I had thought that my period came late due to irregular menstruation cycle and the fact that I was mentally ill because of what had happened. But I had no idea that I was really pregnant. When I learned that I was pregnant, I lost all my strength at once. I had no idea that I would find out that I was pregnant right after my husband and Jackie treated me as a woman who couldn't get pregnant and even divorced me because of that. Thanks to this happy news, I didn't care about my husband at all anymore. Maybe this is what it means to be a mother. It simply made me realize that I had to be strong for the sake of my baby. So, I should leave that scumbag asshole once and for all. I packed my bags and was ready to leave immediately. I explained the situation to my parents, and they agreed to let me live with them for some time while I took the maternity leave after the divorce. Then, a week after that divorce talk, my husband came home once.
So, have you properly made up your mind for us to get a divorce?
My husband said that to me as he looked annoyed. So, I got all my strength together and firmly replied to him, "Yes, I'm glad to get rid of a lousy, terrible man like you."
Oh, really? Then, please just get the hell out of here.
But before that, you have to promise me something, okay? I took out my voice recorder and pressed the record button. I'll file a claim for alimony for your affair and to your mistress too. My husband looked at me with disgust as I was recording, but to what I said he replied,
Okay, we'll pay the alimony.
My husband's family is rather wealthy as his father had already passed away, and he and Jackie had received quite a large inheritance. So, I guess alimony is nothing to them.
Are you satisfied then? If so, get the hell out of my house.
I'm not done yet. There's one more important thing.
Huh? What is it then?
I'm pregnant.
Excuse me?
So, you better pay the child support too, okay?
What? You really got pregnant?
Well, yes. I did get a checkup at the OBGYN clinic. My husband looked really surprised. I guess he was shocked to hear the news.
Is it really my baby?
Of course. Besides, I never had an affair unlike you. Anyway, you have to pay child support and promise me that you will never see my child and Jackie will never see my child either. To that, my husband looked really annoyed but agreed, saying,
All right then.
I was not sure if the recording was enough, so I asked him to write a memorandum.
Well, all I have to do is have a baby with Sarah.
I was angry that my husband didn't seem to be responding at all about my baby, but at least he has agreed to all my requests, so it was all good. So, like that, our divorce was finalized. I hired a lawyer and had the lawyer communicate about the alimony payment to Frank. Neither my ex-husband nor his mistress seemed to be particularly stubborn about anything and agreed to the payment. Later, I gave birth to a beautiful son and became a single mother. With the help of my parents, I worked hard at my job and spent happy days at home with my son. Then, on one weekend, Jackie suddenly came to my parents' house. What's going on all of a sudden? What is the meaning of this? You never told me you had a child. I want to see my grandchild. Excuse me? Jackie suddenly came charging at me, demanding to see her grandchild. At that point, it had been 2 years already since I divorced Frank. Why did she suddenly come to me? Now wait a minute. I divorced Frank on the condition that you and Frank wouldn't see my son. That means that you have no right to see my son. Shut the hell up. I don't care about that. I have all the right to see your son because I am related to him. Hurry up and bring out your son. Huh? Bring out? Don't say it that way as if my son is a thing. Oh, that's enough. I'm going to call the police. Don't be stupid and just get the kid. I'm so glad I left the front door chained. If I had opened the door, Jackie would have rushed inside. Then, after a few minutes, the police car came along. Hey! Hey, you! Did you really call the police on me? I can't believe this. Huh? I didn't call them. When I turned around, my mother said, I called the police when she came to our house. Good job, Mom. Jackie was then taken to the police station. I went with her to the police station for questioning. After that whole incident, I received a text message from my ex-husband saying,
How could you call the police?
And another message which said,
Mom just wanted to see her grandson.
To that, I replied, Did you forget about what you wrote? Did you forget about the recorded data? If you want anything more from me, you'll have to go through my lawyer. It seemed like Frank read my message, but I never heard back from him again. But then, after that, Frank and Jackie insisted that they had the right to see my son through my lawyer. But because of the recorded audio as well as what my husband had written on the memorandum, their request was denied. My lawyer showed them the recorded data and the memorandum and told them clearly, You are not allowed to see the child because Frank had agreed to these terms of the divorce. Jackie seemed to jump on my lawyer at any moment and was screaming hysterically. Frank, on the other hand, was trying to cry so hard so that my lawyer would accept the request. My lawyer was also troubled by the fact that Frank had started to talk about his own life story, which my lawyer had not even asked him to talk about. According to the story, Frank's lover, Sarah, could not get pregnant. I don't know the details, but it seems that she experienced on getting pregnant when she was a lot younger and had several abortions, and was already in a state where it was difficult for her to get pregnant. Plus, Sarah hid that fact from Frank and married him. After 2 years of marriage, Sarah got fed up with Jackie constantly asking her if she got pregnant yet, which Jackie did the same with me. And so, Sarah finally revealed the truth to them. Jackie then got furious and told Sarah, Get out! Leave my son! And forced her and Frank to get a divorce. And at that time, Frank said,
I wish I had never divorced Allison.
And when Jackie questioned him about what he meant, he told her for the first time that I was actually pregnant before we got divorced. My ex-husband had kept it a secret from Jackie because he was expecting a child soon after he remarried Sarah. He should have just kept it a secret. But the fact that Frank and Jackie contacted me again was actually a good thing for me. After all, Frank had only paid child support for the first 6 months or so. So this time, when my lawyer met with them, I asked my lawyer to demand child support payment from them. The moment Frank was told about child support, he suddenly burst into tears and said,
No, it's...
I had asked my lawyer in advance to charge Frank mercilessly about the child support payment, so the lawyer strongly urged him to pay. My ex-husband reluctantly agreed, and since then, he has been paying child support again. And because of what had happened, I put a restraining order on Jackie and Frank. They both seemed to be completely freaked out about it and stopped coming over and also stopped contacting me. For now, this will give me some peace and quiet for a while. A scumbag man like him and his annoying mother had made my life difficult, but I'll just be thankful that I've met my cute son. Isn't it a bit old-fashioned in terms of values to call someone a woman who can't get pregnant after just 2 years of marriage? And I think getting pregnant with babies are something that comes naturally, not something you can have if you pressure them or stress them out about it. Frank and Allison loved each other, got married, but I can't believe that Frank just switched to another woman just because Allison couldn't get pregnant. I thought, how could such a scumbag man like him get another woman, but that new woman seemed to be quite strange as well. Well, as it turns out, Frank got divorced twice, so it's what he really deserves. I hope Allison and her adorable son will make lots of memories and live happily ever after. Thank you for watching until the end. Please subscribe to our channel. We hope to see you in our next video.